Well, hey, everybody, this is Robert, and welcome to this Outbreak newscast. And I'm going to take you to Israel, where they're battling quite the West Nile virus outbreak in 2024. Now, the latest from the Israel Ministry of Health on the West Nile virus outbreak shows that through August 6th, today, 796 confirmed cases and 57 fatalities have been reported year to date. This total is nearly double the number of cases in 2000 when 425 were reported, the previous high in a single year in this past quarter century. The cities reporting the most cases include Tel Aviv with 84, Petah Tikva with 77, and Herzliya with 46. West Nile fever typically appears in Israel around the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall, August through November. Peak transmission in Israel is usually the third week of September. However, this year, the outbreak started sooner than normal. Now, there are typically only a few cases reported throughout the other months of the year. Transmission peaked a month earlier this year, but it is still too early to say if the number of active cases has increased or if the peak of transmission has shifted. Now, West Nile disease is caused by an RNA virus from the flavivirus family. West Nile viruses with varying genetic makeup arrive in Israel via flocks of migratory birds. Every year, Israeli scientists discover new genotypes that closely resemble viruses from Europe, Russia, and Africa, while bearing less resemblance to viruses that circulate in the United States. There are presently 5 identified West Nile virus lineages. Only 2 of these can infect people. Many natural factors, such as the species of the mosquitoes or the birds, affect the spread of the virus. Other factors include variance between mosquito species, right? Different species vary in the efficacy of transmission, rivalry among mosquitoes, natural enemies of mosquitoes, and the availability of food. Other factors that influence spread include atmospheric conditions such as moisture, rainfall, temperature, standing water, accessibility of water sources, and human-related factors such as global commerce, rapid transportation, and the condition of immune system of the human host. There are also unanticipated factors that can alter the spread of the virus. As a result, it's impossible to predict how widespread the virus will be in a certain year based on previous years. Now, West Nile has long been present in Israel. After the initial West Nile disease outbreak in Israel between 1950 and 1954, a second outbreak was found in 1957. Later, viral spread rose significantly in the 1970s and 80s. Following its discovery in birds in 1997, a widespread outbreak struck the following year, mostly impacting flocks of geese for fattening. 2000 saw the occurrences of a pandemic with over 400 cases. Diagnoses of dozens of cases have been made every year since 2001. Now, the main area where the virus is most active is the coastal plain of Israel, which stretches from Nahariya in the north to Kiryat Gat in the south. Furthermore, endemic activity is still present in the Arava region, which stretches from the Dead Sea to Eilat. The activity region's geographic distribution, patient volume, and disease severity may change from one year to the next. Now, West Nile virus disease is caused by the West Nile virus. The virus transmits to people and animals via mosquito bites. The virus is primarily found in birds. It is spread and transmitted by mosquitoes of the Culex species. The virus is also present in other mosquito species, including Aedes and Anopheles. However, it is widely believed that these mosquitoes play a secondary role in viral transmission. In Israel, the virus is most commonly found in 2 species of the mosquitoes, Culex pipiens and Culex perexiguus. 80% or so of those infected show no symptoms at all. If symptoms do appear, they are usually mild, flu-like, and they pass. Symptoms may include fever, headache, fatigue, joint and muscle pain, inflammation of the conjunctiva in the eyes, rash, and occasionally nausea and diarrhea. Now, less than 1% of West Nile will progress to meningitis or severe brain inflammation. West Nile is sometimes fatal. At-risk groups are those with weakened immune systems and the elderly. Remember, the latter group is more vulnerable to other common infections too, such as flu and pneumonia, especially if they already have other underlying medical conditions. The incubation period, in other words, the bite to onset of symptoms, ranges from 2 to 14 days, but is usually around 6 days. Prevention of mosquito hazards and reduction of the risk of being bitten are the foundations of effective prevention. Protective measures should be taken during the hours of darkness from sunset until sunrise, which are the hours of mosquito activity. There are many methods of protection, including long attire with your clothes, installing screens in the windows, and the use of fans. There are also chemical methods such as mosquito repellents applied to one's body, devices that attract and trap mosquitoes, and preparations dispersed into the air. When using chemical preparations, use only preparations that have a valid license and make sure to follow the instructions for use and the cautions detailed on the labels. Now, prevention of mosquito hazards. Female mosquitoes lay their eggs in stagnant bodies of water. So even a small amount of water is enough for the development of mosquitoes. Mosquito activity can be reduced in one's private domain, at home, or in the yard by doing some of the following. 1. Empty or replace the water in vases, plates under flower pots, swimming pool covers, old tires, barrels, buckets, pets' drinking bowls, and other containers at least once per week. We are often unaware of the existence of small bodies of water in our domain. Such sources, such as containers and refuse, include the following in concealed places such as thick foliage, basements and roofs. These should be searched for to make sure that they're taken care of. If you have decorative ponds, use mosquito-eating fish. Clean and empty rain gutters, and dispose of old items in the area that have no use, in which water can accumulate. Thanks for listening.